Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, you're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio.
Good morning, and welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and I'm here on Fridays at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. I'm not here to save your soul. I'm here to save your business, save your job, trying to save our community by laying down an economic foundation of business development so that we can support ourselves, so that we can not wait until summertime rolls around and our kids are looking at us for job and employment and livelihood, and we have to load our kids into cars and take them to somebody else's community. That's getting old. We've got to support ourselves. And that's what this show is about. This is about self-sufficiency. This is about building your own. And stop begging. Stop it. No more begging. Build your own business. And that's what this show is about. Been doing this for 15 years and we're making headway, but there's so much more to do. We're being tried right now like never before. So we're finding out that we can't depend on other people, can't depend on the government, can't depend on the beneficence of other people's wealth. We have to build it ourselves. And that's why I'm still doing this 15 years later. I would do it another 15 or 115 years until we get to that place where I feel like we are self-sufficient and we have a way to go. I'm a business developer by trade. I build businesses. People come to me, say, Gatewood, I have a business idea. I'm ready to take that leap. And I help them do it. Or you may have a business already and you need some octane, put it on steroids, make it work. We have enough businesses. We actually start enough businesses, but they don't succeed because we don't understand something as basic as marketing. And marketing is not just about advertising. You have to understand your target audience. You have to find a need and fill it. You have to be bold, take risk, have the right amount of money, have the right mindset. That's why we're here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. And many have listened and many have gotten results. That's not a pat on the back. For me, that's a pat on the back for those who've taken that bold step and decided to take that plunge and become self-sufficient. And I'm not knocking folks who have jobs. I had one myself about 20 years. I was out there in corporate America in the smoky field boardrooms, picking up ideas, but I was honing those ideas. And I took that information that I'd garnered when I was in corporate America and came out here and applied it. Used some of those same tactics, scaled it down, tweaked it, and made it applicable to small and startup businesses. And here I am. I'm also an adjunct professor. I teach this at the college over in Prince George's County. And in fact, I just had a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed group of students yesterday, people who are just getting out of high school, about to go out here and start a living. And I teach a course in digital marketing, where these students will have a digital marketing certificate when they get through the entire program. I, along with Dr. King over at Prince George's Community College, we authored this program. So I've been doing that for the last 25 years. I teach public relations, PR. I teach marketing strategies. I teach, let's see what else. Boy, networking, social media strategies. Been doing that for quite a while. I've written a couple of books, one called Played in Full, one called Smarter Than the Boss. I have a brand new book that I'm sitting here holding the cover, reviewing it before I release it. So stay tuned for that. Just trying to get us through. We have a good show lined up today. We're going to talk about going into the second half of 2025. I have a secret sauce that's worked for me. It's called reciprocity. Reciprocity. To give a little and gain abundantly. We're going to talk about that. This is the first show we've had in the month of July. Last week was a holiday. Many people were out on their highways, so we decided to. We actually ran a show. It was a rerun, but we were still talking about some important things that's going to help business owners. So of course, July, we have the first Friday also this month. We have it on the second Friday because of the holiday. So today, I'll be downstairs at the BLE Executive Suites first Friday at 9701 Apollo Drive. If you're in the DC area, come on down. Get you a free lunch, some free information. It's networking information. Dr. Mildred Charles is going to be speaking. She's going to talk about obstacles, from obstacles to opportunities. And we need that kind of insight and motivation and inspiration now. For the first time in many, many years, we've seen the unemployment rate increase. And surprisingly, among Black women. We know what's happening. Black women have been a threat to many people in power. And a lot of these job cuts, like in the federal government, are affecting them disproportionately. But I say, do not cower, do not give up, stand and fight, and come on out to networking events like we're having today at BLE Executive Suites. This is also some observances this month. It's Family Fun Month, so get out here and enjoy yourself. Family, don't ever turn your back on family, because sometimes family is all you have. It's Family Reunion Month. It's also National Black Family Month. National Hot Dog Month. Man, I had a good hot dog yesterday. That thing was so good. I try to eat the healthy hot dogs. I know that sounds like a paradox, but it's also National Picnic Month. And like you said, we celebrated, that was Independence Day last week. So we got a good show lined up here. We're going to talk about a few items in the news. I see Brother Brown there. Good morning, Brother Brown. He says good morning to the Marketing Pulpit family and praise the Lord. All right. Amen, brother. Let's talk about a few items in the news. And once again, come on out to the first Friday. I'll see you downstairs at 11:30. Let me give you a free sandwich from, I think it's Panera Bread this week. Man, they have some good sandwiches. That bread. I know it's fattening and probably not the healthiest, but hey, we do what we do. Let's see here. We have the floods taking place down in Florida. I'm sorry, in Texas. And Texas has been like a magnet for floods. I remember the big Galveston flood around the turn of the century. Had about, I think, like 8,000 people died in the Galveston flood. Now we have one in Central Texas, and they've so far about 170 people have lost their lives. I'm sorry, about 130 have lost their lives, and 170 are still missing. That is so tragic. So many children were included. That flood went through a camp and took out several young women and their counselors. And it's been one of the deadliest floods in the country in years, in about 100 years. So we're going to be talking about over 200 people who succumbed to this flood. Now, we don't want to politicize tragedies like this, but don't be surprised if you see more of these kind of things happening. We can't, now of course, you can't predict or determine what Mother Nature does. That's not political, but your preparation and your response is the responsibility of government and those we put in power. And sometimes they will politicize certain things on who they hand out resources to, what to cut, what to put more money behind. So without assigning blame, I'll just say, let's make sure that we have people in power who are accountable and that they don't use people's lives as political pawns. Also in the news, there was an interesting case before the courts where consumer groups were trying to get rid of this difficulty to cancel a subscription. So you go to these platforms, you sign up for something, they got a big red button there blinking when it's time to subscribe. But when it's time to cancel, you've got to jump through all kind of hoops. You got to go to this page, this fine print. Some cases you have to call in. You can't do it online. Got all these pop-up buttons trying to discourage you from doing it. Well, people noticed was a problem, so there was some legislation put forth to say, we don't want that. You make it easy for me to order. Now make it easy for me to unsubscribe or to cancel. Well, that was blocked. A U.S. appeals court blocked the rule, which was set to start on July 14th. But some high-profile people put their money into it. People like Disney and Comcast were all against it, and you can imagine why they're against it. Of course, Disney doesn't want you to cancel any of their programs, or Comcast, and other major companies. We're in some tough times. Just don't fall asleep on this. Don't drop the ball. Stay vigilant. Pay attention what's going on. Or you're going to wake up one day in this dystopian society. So let's stay vigilant. Of course, it seems like the bad guys are winning more often than not. But let's look at the long game. Don't forget to vote. Hold your representatives accountable. And do what it takes to make sure that our needs are being fulfilled. So anyway, also the Supreme Court, man, it's just piling on. The Supreme Court has allowed government job cuts. So there was this case before the Supreme Court where the current administration was going to downsize 19 federal departments and agencies. And that was blocked by a lower court. Because they said this was going to put hundreds and thousands of federal workers out of work. Well, here we go again. Don't sleep on this, folks. I know many of you all didn't think that voting had consequences. Like, oh, there's no difference between this party and that party, or that politician and that politician. I don't remember any other politician in the last few years that had such a disdain for federal workers, minorities, women, disabled, foreigners, immigrants. We're in new territory. So don't get too comfortable, ever get too comfortable. When you're dependent on an unfair system that rewards the rich and powerful and has disregard for the weak, the powerless. And do not put yourself among the weak and the powerless. You're not weak and you do have power. You just have to exercise it. The president of Liberia came to the White House this week on July 9th to discuss potential trade deals. And the president was of Liberia, this guy named Joseph Boakai. And he was chumming it up with Trump before he found out what kind of person Trump was, like many people. So Trump called himself, I guess, being nice, but in a very condescending way. He told the president of Liberia, well, thank you. Such good English. That's beautiful. Where do you learn to speak English so beautifully? Lord help us. Where were you educated? Where were you educated? Asked Trump. Well, for those who don't know, Liberia, officially the Republic of Liberia, is a country in the west coast of Africa. And back in the 19th century, there was a project called American Colonization Society that believed that black people faced a better chance of freedom and prosperity if they went back to Africa. So between 1822 and 1861, about 15,000 freed Africans were sent to Liberia. Of course, they brought many of the customs and norms with them, including the English language. So in Liberia, the official language is English. Of course, the president didn't know that. Liberia was one of the first African republics to proclaim independence, along with Ethiopia. Just a bit of history for anybody who's wondering why people were shocked at the president's condescending tone and remarks to the president of this esteemed country. Help us. Where are we going? Well, you say, why do we talk about such things? This is a business show. Well, once upon a time, you could just do business. You didn't have to worry about such matters. These are different times. I wish all I had to do was get on here and talk about business. That's what I did for the past 15 years, basically. But these are not the same times. I do yearn for the good old days when I could just speak solely on business matters. But things that are happening that's going to affect your business. We're seeing an influx of people who are leaving the federal government, some willingly, some unwillingly, and they need guidance on how to start a successful business. So yes, my business is impacted directly. I was about ready to retire. And I bought me a flowery shirt, rum punch in my hand. That black guy that sang the country song, My Jamaica. Man, that was the embodiment of that. Too much work to do. I'm back on it. Well, we're at the halftime of this year. So don't let the first half, if it wasn't the greatest, you have a second half to get it right. So let's do some things like looking at your financials, make sure income statements and balance sheets are in line. Look at the goals you set, see if you met those benchmarks. Look at those KPIs, key performance indicators. Make sure you're trending in the right direction. Do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and see where you stand. Get customer feedback and insights. If you set a marketing strategy and budgets, go back and review them, see, have you met those benchmarks? Are you getting the results? Because things change from 1 month to 7 months, 6 months later. Do a risk management review too. Look at what's happening around the country and around the world and see how you may be impacted. Maybe when you wrote that budget, there was no 50% tariff on Brazil, where some of your products or supply chain may be coming from, or China. So you got to do a risk management review based on current circumstances. Update your contingency plans based on the changes in the environment. Get out here and network. Create partnerships. Those are things I'm going to ask you to do as we go into the second half of 2025. What I'm going to do a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about reciprocity. This is my secret sauce I'm going to share with you today. I talk with my brother sometimes, my brother Leon down in North Carolina. We call this like our little secret that we sometimes reluctant to share because it's so propitious, it's so beneficial, it's so helpful, it's so amazing that this time I'm going to share it with you because these are different times. There is a secret sauce. And after almost 40 years out here in the business world, where I've had some business or another, it's still working. So hang on, don't go anywhere. When I come back, and you want to share this information also when you get it, don't hold it to yourself. I'm being very generous today. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back. You were listening to the music, the theme song of the Marketing Pulpit. That's actually an original tune that was produced by my brother Daniel Gatewood and myself. So that is a original copywritten song that's owned by the Marketing Pulpit International, which is a subsidiary of Gatewood Marketing. And hats off to brother Daniel. He's a musical genius. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to go down next month. He released a new song. We're supposed to go down there and do a video and put out a new song out there on the marketplace. Working together. I like to see families work together. People like BLE, family business, MRS Tax, family business, Neely Fuller Jr. and the Produce Justice, family business. I mean, sometimes family can be a little difficult to work with, but if you get it right, boy, magic happens. Let's talk about reciprocity, this magic wand, this secret sauce that I've used over years. Think about this. Instead of constantly begging and asking and selling and beating the ground and trying to get people to bend your way, bend to your will, what if you set an example for them to follow? What if you show them how it's done, how it's supposed to work? So, quick example, if I go to a networking event, which I'll be going to in a few minutes, instead of walking up to somebody and asking for their business card, why don't I do this instead? I walk up, reach into my pocket, and say, I'm Robert Gatewood. Here is my business card. In the spirit of reciprocity, that person is going to say, well, shoot, let me find my card and give you one of mine. That's reciprocity in a nutshell. Walking up to people and asking them for a sale, asking them for their business card, asking them for this and that and the other. It works in some circumstances, but if you're playing the long game, then you need to add reciprocity into your weapons arsenal. And it doesn't have to be anything big. I use this spirit of reciprocity on a daily basis. I'll give you some more small examples, some micro examples. Social media, for instance. It is almost built on reciprocity. You go to somebody's page, you like their post. And it's much more likely they would go to your page and like something that you posted. If you really, really like their post, you comment on it. You follow their page and you share their content. Now, reciprocity says that, let's say with me, I go to that, I look at my Facebook account. I say, oh, so Fred just sharing my content. Let me go see what Fred is about. I go to Fred's page. I never even thought about Fred before. Man, he's got a lot going on. Now I'm liking his content. I'm commenting. Hey, Fred, thanks for sharing my post. I see something in that he wrote that might be applicable, that aligns with my objectives and my audience. I may share it as well. So once you embrace this, I'm telling you, some magical things start to happen. It is amazing. I was reluctant at first. I felt like people were going to take advantage of me. I'm going to always be giving and not receiving. But think about this. When you make a runway to an airport, that thing is two ways. There are planes going out, but you can't have planes coming in either if you don't build that runway. So think of it that way. You're building a runway, not just for outgoing, but for incoming as well. So you go buy products. This past month, I was over at National Harbor. I found a couple of black art stores, independent artists. There's a new program here in Prince George's County. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it has something to do. But anyway, they're promoting the arts. So they have these artists in there. So I went out there and I bought a piece of art, shared it on my show. I think around Juneteenth. Went back again. I'm supporting them. I told them, so look, I'm not asking you to buy anything from me, but here's my show. Just tune in every now and then. And maybe you can find something that's of value. So buy people's products if you can, if you need it. Instead of going online where you're probably never going to get any type of reciprocity. Refer people, give referrals. If you receive good service, tell somebody. And you'd be surprised the amount of goodwill that comes with that. That person will remember you forever. You send them a couple of customers, man, you're their BFF for life. And guess what? If you have a service they need or their stakeholders need, they're going to refer you. Don't be afraid to let people try your service out. You don't have to have your checkbook out every time somebody's trying to figure out what type of service you offer. Give them a free sample. Give. You have to give a little to gain a lot. It goes a long way. One day you're having a slow day, big heart. Get on your internet, get on your email account, and send out a personal note to somebody without asking for something. Oh, I remember I hadn't heard from you in a while. I was just kind of thought, it came across my mind, just checking on you, make sure everything's okay. Don't be a stranger. Boom. All of a sudden, that person is back in yours. You're back on their subconscious. You're back in their mind. And let me go see what Gatewood is up to these days. Oh, here's the show. Let me tune in his show today. Now, also, I'm telling you, this is a strategic way to get clients. Right now, I'm not doing it for clients. I have enough. I'm good. I'm doing this now to kind of spread it around. See, William, he's saying, great show. Thanks for your post on my Google business page. Well, here's a case in point. William Maxwell from Idea Gear. I just went into Google yesterday and gave him a great review. I didn't do it for anything in return. Matter of fact, I didn't even ask him to do one in return. He probably will, because I think he embraces reciprocity as well. I didn't do it to get anything. I do it because I know reciprocity works. You have any promotions? Go ahead and feature somebody in your promotion. Man, you're going to make somebody's day. Now, if you're doing well, it's easier to do these things. You don't have to think about it as hard. But even if you are struggling, I'm telling you, this will put an end to some of those struggles you're having. It will give your life new meaning, more purpose. When you take some of the emphasis off yourself and put it on others, it works. I've been down there. I've been down to my last dollar. And I would take 75 of that and plan it rather than spend it all on myself. So get out to these networking events. Don't do it. Go out there to try to sell something. Go out there. What do you have to offer? Information, connections, resources. And you also want to support businesses in your community. Support might not even mean buying their product. Like I said, you can refer them, volunteer, let them use your venue that you're not using. You have this idle capacity sitting there and they need a place to set up a kitchen or a workshop, and you have ample space. Thing I noticed that people that come in as a result of your beneficence, they bring others with them. So anyway, that's my advice as you prepare to go into the second half of 2025. Take this secret sauce, Robert Gatewood's secret sauce. It has worked miracles in my personal life and in my business life. It's second nature to me now. I don't have to think about it. And I'm not doing it to get something. I'm doing it because it feels right. It's part of my mindset now. Will somebody take advantage of you? Probably not, because you're not going to be around those kind of people. Don't go down the street, looking at people that might do you harm and say, let me try this thing on. No, these are people that, much like yourself, and you're not doing it with the intention of getting it back right away. You may never get it back, not from that person. Quick story, I'm going to end on this. I had a client contacted me about 3 or 4 months ago. I was doing one of my regular checkups on somebody. Say, hey, how things going? This person said, I'm having a tough time. I said, wow, what's going on? And just things have just been bad. Matter of fact, so bad, I can't buy groceries. I'm really shaking up because this person, they look pretty sharp on social media. I said, wow, I wanted to say, hey, you need to tone things down there on social media a little bit. But no, that's not the spirit. I said, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and drop some coins in your Cash App. I didn't say pay me back. I didn't put a date on it. Matter of fact, after I dropped the first coin, I thought about it. I said, shoot, that's not enough money to buy any groceries. High as things are right now. So I went back and dropped some more because my spirit was telling me. And so this has happened. I went on about my life. In less than 24 hours, a contract landed on my desk that was probably about 20 times the value of the money I just lent out. And that's been happening to me my entire life. I don't think I'm special. This is not just something that's only available to me. So I'm going to invite you to try it. Don't put yourself in peril or danger, but just give it a try. You'll be surprised. That's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you again for tuning in. I'll be back. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. We started this show on Radio 1, 95.9 FM, over at Miss Kathy Hughes' place in the Silver Spring studio. We expanded it online. We're now on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. I carry it in person at the First Friday networking event, some of the same concepts, thoughts. Matter of fact, I'll probably be repeating some of the things I said today in person a little later on. So help me help others as we weather some of these storms. Know that you're not in it alone. Some people are suffering, some people are afraid. We got you. Come on over, join us, share this information. Let's help some folks. And the more you help others, the more you're going to help yourself. Thank you again for listening. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'll be back next week. And as I say when I end my shows, if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you must do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.